One day, a father gave his son a challenge. Spend a whole day without using any technology and just enjoy the simple things around you. If you succeed, you'll receive my watch, an heirloom that's been in our family for generations. The son happily accepted, turned off all his gadgets, and spent the day outdoors, walking, playing with friends, and swimming in the river. By evening, he felt a deep happiness he hadn't known in a long time and realized how meaningful simple joys could be. When the son returned home, proud of completing the challenge, he found a note left for him. "Enjoy every little moment, my son. Live each day like it's your last, so you won't have regrets as I did." Only then did he learn that his father, who had been very sick, had passed away while he was out. The son felt heartbroken, but he understood his father's message. The takeaway of the story: cherish each day, for time is precious, and appreciating life's quiet moments can make it truly meaningful. Now, if you think this content is good, tag that one friend who needs to see this, and please like, share, and follow. On a sunny morning, a rabbit boasted to a turtle about his speed. "I can run faster than anyone in the forest," the rabbit said smugly. "You, on the other hand, are the slowest creature I've ever seen. How do you even get anywhere?" The turtle smiled and replied calmly, "Speed isn't everything. But if you're so confident, why don't we race?" Amused, the rabbit agreed, certain he'd win with ease. The race began, and the rabbit quickly sprinted far ahead. Seeing no chance for the turtle to catch up, the rabbit decided to take a nap under a shady tree. Meanwhile, the turtle kept moving steadily, step by step, without stopping. By the time the rabbit woke up, the turtle was only a few steps away from the finish line. Panicked, the rabbit ran as fast as he could, but it was too late. The turtle crossed the finish line and won the race. Surprised and embarrassed, the rabbit asked, "How did you beat me?" The turtle replied, "Slow and steady wins the race. Bragging won't get you anywhere if you don't stay focused on the goal." The takeaway of the story is, humility and consistent effort often lead to success, while overconfidence can be your downfall. Now, if you think this content is good, tag that one friend who needs to see this, and please like, share, and follow. In a quiet fishing village by the sea, a father and his son lived in a small hut. Each day, the father would give his son a fish, reminding him to appreciate it because it was their main meal for the day. But the boy often took the fish for granted, carelessly eating only a portion and tossing the rest to the seagulls. The father observed this but said nothing. One day, the boy woke up to find there was no fish waiting for him. Hungry, he asked his father, but the man handed him a fishing rod instead. "If you want to eat, you'll need to catch your own fish today," the father said. Reluctantly, the boy set off to the shore. After hours under the hot sun, struggling to catch anything, he finally caught a small fish. Tired and hungry, he returned home, proud of his hard work. When he arrived, the father smiled and said, "Now toss that fish to the seagulls." The boy protested, "But I worked so hard to catch this fish." The father replied, "Exactly. Now you understand the value of each fish I've given you." The takeaway of the story is, you truly value things only when you've worked for them yourself. Now, if you think this content is good, tag that one friend who needs to see this, and please like, share, and follow. A student approached her music teacher one day and said, "I want to quit the band. Everyone is so distracted during rehearsals. Some are on their phones, others don't even play the right notes, and some just joke around instead of practicing. It's frustrating." The teacher listened patiently and then said, "Before you decide, can I ask you to do something for me?" The student nodded. The teacher handed her a cup filled to the brim with water and said, "Walk around the music room 3 times without spilling any water." The student carefully walked around the room, focusing intently on the cup. When she returned, she proudly said, "I did it!" Not a drop spilled. The teacher smiled and asked, "While you were walking, did you notice anyone being distracted or off tune?" The student shook her head. "No, I was too focused on the water." The teacher replied, "Exactly. When you're here, focus on your music and your progress, not on others' distractions. Your growth comes from your own dedication, not from watching others." The takeaway of the story is, focus on your goals and personal growth instead of being distracted by others' imperfections. Now, if you think this content is good, tag that one friend who needs to see this, and please like, share, and follow. In a quiet village, a boy was often teased by his peers for carrying a small, tattered umbrella everywhere he went, even on sunny days. "Why do you need that useless thing when there's no rain?" They laughed. One day, dark clouds gathered unexpectedly, and a heavy downpour began. The children, caught in the open, scrambled for shelter but found none nearby. The boy calmly opened his umbrella and walked toward the group. "Come under," he said, shielding them from the rain. Grateful but stunned, one of the children asked, "Why did you bring an umbrella when it wasn't raining?" The boy smiled and said, "I didn't know when it would rain, but I believed being prepared would matter someday." The takeaway of the story is, faith in preparation, even when doubted by others, often proves invaluable in unexpected moments. Now, if you think this content is good, tag that one friend who needs to see this, and please like, share, and follow. A young boy walked home one afternoon, clutching his report card. His heart sank as he knew he had the lowest score in his class. As he entered the house, his mother noticed his sadness and asked gently, "What's wrong?" Reluctantly, he handed over the report card, bracing for disappointment. Instead, his mother smiled warmly and said, "This is great news." Confused, he asked, "How is this good?" She replied, "You've reached the bottom, which means the only way from here is up. Let's work together to make things better." Encouraged by her words, the boy began studying harder. When the next exam results came in, he had moved up a few spots. "See? You're climbing up," she said proudly. With each small improvement, his confidence grew. By the end of the school year, he earned a spot in the top 10. With tears in her eyes, her mother said, "You've shown what determination can do." With her unwavering support, he transformed from a struggling student into a confident achiever, all because someone believed in him when he couldn't believe in himself. The takeaway of the story is, encouragement and belief can inspire others to achieve more than they ever thought possible. Now, if you think this content is good, tag that one friend who needs to see this, and please like, share, and follow. A jobless man applied for the position of office boy at a very big company. The employer interviewed him, then a test. Clean the floor. "You are hired," the employer said. "Give me your email address and I'll send you the application to fill as well as when you will start." The man replied, "I don't have a computer, neither an email." "I'm sorry," said the employer. "If you don't have an email, that means you do not exist. And who doesn't exist cannot have the job." The man left with no hope. He didn't know what to do, with only $10 in his pocket. He then decided to go to the supermarket, bought a 10-kilogram tomato crate, then sold the tomatoes door to door. In less than 2 hours, he succeeded and doubled his capital. He repeated the operation 3 times and returned home with $60. The man realized that he could survive by this way and started to go every day earlier and returned late. Thus, his money doubled or tripled every day. Shortly later, he bought a cart, then a truck, and then he had his own fleet of delivery vehicles. 5 years later, the man's company was one of the biggest food retailers. He started to plan his family's future and decided to have a life insurance. He called an insurance broker and chose a protection plan. When the conversation was concluded, the broker asked him his email. The man replied, "I don't have an email." The broker replied curiously, "You don't have an email, and yet have succeeded to build an empire. Do you imagine what you could have done if you had an email?" The man paused for a while and replied, "An office boy." The takeaway of the story is, don't be discouraged if something is not in your favor today. Better opportunities are waiting ahead. Now, if you think this content is good, tag that one friend who needs to see this, and please like, share, and follow. A 30-year-old man decided to send his father to a retirement home, as his wife wished, because they were both tired of dealing with him in his old age. The son found a retirement home run by a priest and thought it was the perfect place for his father. When they arrived, an elderly priest came out and had a long conversation with the old man. Curious, the son asked if the priest knew his father, as they seemed so familiar. The priest replied, "Yes, I have known your father for 30 years. He came here 30 years ago and took with him a very sick orphan boy who had been rejected by every potential family. This man gave that boy a home and saved his life. He told us the boy deserved better and vowed to dedicate his life to making him the wealthiest young man by the time he turned 25. I don't know how long you have known him, but I can tell you he is a good man. And I am glad to let you know that you were the sick boy that no one wanted to adopt. But this man right here, gave you the life you have today." The takeaway of the story is, never forget the sacrifices others have made for you. True gratitude comes from recognizing those who have shaped your life, even when it's easy to take them for granted. Now, if you think this content is good, tag that one friend who needs to see this, and please like, share, and follow. One day, a father asked his son to play catch with him, but his son replied, "Sorry, Dad, I'm watching anime right now." The father smiled and replied, "Okay, my son, enjoy your cartoons," then left the room. The next day, his dad asked again, this time wanting to play baseball, but the son, still immersed in his anime, refused and said, "Maybe next time, Dad. I'm watching anime." For a week, the father repeatedly asked his son to play with him, but the son always denied his requests. One day, when the son finally wanted to play, he found his dad's room empty. Confused, he asked his mom, who sadly said, "Your dad wanted to play with you every day, but now he's gone." The son cried in his room. The takeaway of the story is, time with loved ones is precious and fleeting. Prioritize meaningful connections before it's too late, as opportunities lost cannot always be regained. Now, if you think this content is good, tag that one friend who needs to see this, and please like, share, and follow. A little boy went to school every day, and during lunch breaks, he often spent time with the school janitor. One day, the boy said excitedly, "My birthday is coming up soon, and I want you to come." The janitor smiled and replied, "Thank you for inviting me, but I work late every day." "Are you inviting others too?" The boy nodded. "Yes, I have many friends, and they always say how much they like me." A few days before his birthday, the boy handed out invitations to all his friends and gave one to the janitor as well. On the day of his birthday, the boy waited eagerly for his friends to arrive, but as time passed, no one showed up. With tears in his eyes, the boy asked his mother, "Why didn't anyone come to my birthday?" So, the boy and his mother celebrated his birthday alone. Suddenly, they heard a knock on the door. The boy opened it and saw the janitor standing there with a big smile and a huge present. "You didn't forget about me," the boy exclaimed with joy. The janitor smiled and said, It's always better to have one true friend than many who aren't real. Happy birthday. The takeaway of the story is, true friends are rare and valuable, and it's better to have one genuine friend than many who aren't sincere. Now, if you think this content is good, tag that one friend who needs to see this, and please like, share, and follow.